Okay, so let's move on to another news article here, and we're going to stay with Europe. Here's a European news article about, it's actually a commentary, and it really stood out for me because I've always been trying to say on this podcast and throughout the series of this show that the gay mafia are trying their very best through the media, through these commentaries, through these gay websites to break our will, brainwash us, and dominate us. And to be dominated, you have to be submissive, right? That's why in gay male sex we have a top and a bottom. You have a dominant, and you have a submissive. Well, that's for sex. But in the real world, that also happens. In the outside world, where you have dominant gay mafia members who are going to basically make everybody a submissive bottom, including lesbians. But this is more about gay men. And this commentary talks about and asks the question, are we too scared to be camp? And camp means feminine, loudmouth, attention-grabbing whore, basically. And some people, some men, are not like that. Most men are not camp or campy or flamboyant. A lot of gay men are, but the majority of us are not. We're just men. But the gay mafia doesn't want that. So that's why they asked this question. Are we too scared to be camp? Are you too scared to be what we want you to be? Campy and cheesy? So that way we'll break your will and we can feminize you and be weak and defenseless so you can depend on us. And we're going to mold you to what we want you to be. And this is what they want. You see, the stereotypes of gay men, which, that gay men are campy, feminine, flamboyant, and wear sparkles and, wear rainbow flags. I mean, that's all coming to everybody. I mean, that's going to be not a stereotype, but that's going to be a fact if we let the gay mafia try to break our will. So this is a commentary by Cameron Lamont. And I was really taken aback to this because no, the answer is no. We're not scared to be camp. And the reason why is because most of us are not camp. That's not who we are. I mean, just the other day, Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter star, said that he loves Lady Gaga because she supports gay people being who they are, right? You're born the way you are. Okay, I'm born this way. I'm born just like how I am. Why do you want to impose your camp stereotype caricature on me? Last week, Boy George claimed that gay men are... Boy George is part of the gay mafia. Last week, Boy George claimed that gay men are now less willing to stand out and attract attention. Yeah, because it's not viewed as being something of a positive characteristic. You see, that's not. I mean, that's attracting attention and being campy is selfish. Instead of you being a cooperative person, fighting for your rights, fighting for humanity, fighting for liberty, being assertive, because being assertive is the opposite of being campy. Being campy is all about, oh my God, look at me, oh my God, look at me. That's not, how is that going to fix anything? How is that going to fix the problems in our lives or in this world? We're not going to fix those things. But that's what they want. They want us to become docile, impotent beings. Mush, that's what they want. They want us to become mush. Speaking about a brutal attack on a friend, the singer said most gay men are now want to look normal and fit in. No, that's not true. Most of us are normal, and we do fit in. It's just that you don't want us to fit in. You want us to be the odd sheep out, so that you can continue this supposed agenda of protecting us and you being our savior, and you know, telling us let's support big government, let's support the big Patriot Act, Homeland Security, let's go after the terrorists, Al Qaeda, and even though we work with Al Qaeda in Libya, and it's all part of the system. It's all the same thing. All roads lead to Rome, okay? And Rome, in this case, is big government led by the big corporatist elitists. That's what it is. And of course, Boy George is a part of that, like all these other gay Muppets. It's fair to say that some people might equate campness with the exhibitionist style, and naturally, George's statement will provoke a lot of debate among gays, both young and old. Like if we listen to old gay people, we don't. We forget about them. We exploit young people and then screw them when they're old. That's how the gay community is. Those who remember Boy George's 80s camp and kitsch heyday, and the new generation of gay men that are emerging alongside their straight acting counterparts. Straight acting, what do you mean? I mean, there's no such thing as straight acting. It's just being masculine. It's just being a man. That's all. I mean, it's just asserting our gender. You know, it's not that we're being superficial. It's just that's the way we are. We are men. We have certain proclivities, certain characteristics and mannerisms different from the females. Whether you are straight or gay, you still have this masculine attribute about yourself. But they want to reject that. You see, because most gay men in the past were masculine. They were not camp. The death of camp is a subject which comes around once every few years. Yeah, whenever the Marxist corporatists want to impose it on us, with ironically bitchy vitriol directed at those who dared to be effeminate. Bitchy vitriol, okay. Are we to believe then that the modern gay man is rejecting the camp in favor of the macho? Well, no, you see, that's never happened. Where did he get this idea from? I don't know. I mean, the camp has always been the minority of gay men. The overwhelming majority of gay men have always been, quote, macho. But I mean, that's really, macho is really an extreme word to describe this. We're just being ourselves. We're just being men. And being a masculine man means that you think for yourself, that you are independent, and you stand on your own ground, right? But they don't want that. They want you to be submissive, dependent on big government, dependent on Lady Gaga, dependent on all this crap, effeminate, bottom, barebacking whore. That's what they want you to be. It all goes back to that. One argument, he says, for this is that for gay men, camp promoted visibility at a time when acceptability was only just being discussed. To be radically different from the rest of society promoted their cause and helped with the equal rights that many gay people were. No, that's not true. It was actually when really straight acting men, if you want to say it, that straight acting men, quote, came out of the closet and said, yeah, I'm gay. And many people were shocked about that. Some people were shocked that Joe Amachi, who was a basketball player in the NBA, he came out of the closet and everybody was shocked. Wow, I didn't know he was gay. And see, that kind of helps more than the campy. Because that's obvious when somebody's campy and being feminine and flamboyant. And that's all a show, by the way. It's all theatrical. And they come out and do this, it's all to get attention. And really defeats the purpose of any rights or fighting for equal rights. It's when those that we didn't know that were gay and now they come out to be gay, now we are like, wow. Anybody can be gay, and it's not about this theatrical performance, but it's about a real sexual orientation that is inherent, which it is. It is a spiritual thing that happens inherently inside of you. But no, it's superficial, it's flamboyant, it is all a theater act to these people. Camp may still be a part of today's culture as kind of a remnant from these past struggles. Faced with the new era of acceptance, gay men no longer need to make such a statement and are able... See, it's just a statement. So what he's saying is the reason why there were camp men or feminine men was because they were making a statement, right? But at the first part of this supposed commentary thesis, he says that there's nothing wrong with being camp and we should be camp, right? What's wrong? Why are gay men being afraid of being camp? But then he admits it's all a show. It is a show, and that's why we don't have to be camp, because it's just so fakey. Faced with a new era of acceptance, gay men no longer need to make such a statement, and that's what it is, and are able to adopt a more macho, possibly even a more natural manner. But who are gay men are trying to gain acceptance with? Homosexuality is becoming more and more normalized, with many television programs now featuring openly gay characters. EastEnders is all set to have its first civil ceremony, and gay sportsmen now feeling able to come out and receive a pat on the back for doing so. There's still a long way to go in terms of fully fledged acceptance in an area defined by masculinity, but rugby player Gareth Thomas and Swedish footballer Anton Hasen have followed the footsteps of Justin Fashanu, who bravely came out in 1990. Together they have paved the way for further acceptance of gay men inside and outside of sporting arenas. But you see, he has a wrong aspect of masculinity. Masculinity is not about how strong you are physically or how good you look, how chiseled your body is in sports, how athletic you are. I mean, that's not really... That's the old Athenic, if you want to call it, or Greek way of looking at it. Society's attitudes to gay people have certainly changed considerably in the past decade, and on the whole, gay rights are in much better place than they were in the 1990s and certainly the 1980s. And actually, it's been better for many periods in our ancient history. In ancient China and ancient Australia and North America with the Native Americans, and Northern Europe, parts of Persia and India. But they don't want to go back that much, They just want to keep it when the gay mafia was instituted in the 60s. That's the earliest of the gay history. That's when gay history starts. You see, they don't want to go back to the actual gay history way back hundreds of thousands of years ago. They don't want to go back there, because then gay people will realize what our true potential is and what our role is. But we don't want to do that. Okay? They want to keep us in the dark. In danger of pointing any fingers, it is often gay men themselves who are prejudiced against camp and effeminate males. But then, of course, we know that it's all for show. He just said that those who are camp did it to create attention during the civil rights movement for gay and lesbian people. That's what they were saying. That's what he said. And now he says, well, now those who did it are being discriminated and prejudiced against. No. The prejudice in the community has been always against people who are a little old, over 40, and now even over 30. And those who are not, who don't, have that special look, who don't look hot or who don't have a chiseled body with a six-pack, those are the ones that get prejudiced. That's the real prejudice right there. Many are irritated by the potentially negative stereotypes that camp men have attracted and wish instead to promote being gay with masculinity and essentially heterosexual qualities. The straight acting man. That's not even true. It's not a heterosexual quality. It's a male quality. You see that? I mean, he's playing with sexual orientation and gender. It is probably fair to say that it's the camp and flamboyant gay male that has made more exposure in society and helped form. No, again, that's not true. Again, I said it was the shock when the ones who were not camp and not flamboyant came out of the closet, because that was more of a shock to people. He even stated that in the earlier when the athletes came out of the closet. So, I'm not gonna read this. It's just really long. But I mean, the whole point that he was trying to make is that, which is all over the place, is that we should be camp, and not to look at it as a negative thing. But he even admits in his own commentary that being camp is all about making a statement. It's all theatrical. It's all an illusion. So why do you want us to be camp? I don't get it. Oh yeah, I do now. Because they want us to submit to their whim. They want us to be campy, flamboyant, superficial little fairies. So we become submissive, and we let them do whatever they want on us, and we become complacent. That's what they want. They want a complacent community. They don't want masculine gay males who think for themselves, who think on their own 2 feet, who will fight back, who will defend themselves, defend their property, defend their liberty and freedom. They don't want those kind of males. They don't want a guy carrying a gun. They don't want a guy who is strong mentally and emotionally. They don't want that. They want feminine, weak men. That's what they want. So they can break their will and program them to do whatever they want them to do.